Hope everyone's doing well. I want to make this video, and it's been a minute because I've been wanting to make this video for a while, but I also have been giving it some time in order to gather all my thoughts, and I took notes on it too because I'm like, I want to make sure I have everything I need in order to do the video. So basically what I'm going to be talking about is ways to maintain and increase your breast milk production. So that's going to be different for everybody as far as how much you can output based on your baby's needs. But I'm just going to talk about my experience because I have a 13-month-old. She's almost 14 months now, and she has been exclusively breastfeeding her entire time. So the only time she doesn't exclusively breastfeed is when I'm at work and she's with her dad. I'll take through the bottle on the weekends, but outside of that, she's always been on demand, exclusively breastfeeding with me through the night, through the day, whatever it is. So my output has varied this entire time, and that's pretty normal. Like at first they're gonna need a lot of milk, and then it goes on, they may not need as much. It just depends on your baby and their needs, like I said. So fueling your body in the right ways, that's gonna have an impact on your supply as well. So I just wrote down some key points that I feel are helpful in order to, like I said, maintain is the key word, because it's easy to dip, especially if you fall off a little bit. But maintaining and being able to provide the breast milk to your baby is the most important aspect. So, okay, first things first, I will say skin to skin is good, because skin to skin actually helps with the hormone aspect. So when you feel that skin to skin, that does increase. I don't know if it's like the oxytocin something, but there's that connection. And so based on that skin to skin connection, it just automatically tells your body like, produce more of this. It's super healing and comforting at the same time. So when I did skin to skin, it was more so in the beginning, like when she was a newborn. I would have just my skin showing on my stomach and my boob, and I literally just didn't have a shirt on half the time. And I would just be skin to skin with her like that. And then, you know, she would have her onesie on while she's nursing, or she would just have her diaper on. And so that would really help maintain and increase my breast milk supply, because I was getting quite a bit. And at first I was kind of skeptical because first time mom. And with that being said, you know, it's trial and error. You never know if you're doing something right, if you're doing something wrong, or what's right for you, what's right for your situation. So I did go see a lactation specialist, and I'm glad that I did that, because she was able to confirm that whatever my baby was getting on demand is best for her needs. So basically, she was never able to take more than like an ounce and a half in the very beginning. And I was kind of worried, because I'm like, well, you know, everybody's talking about how their baby gets like 8 ounces, you know, here and there. And it's like, my baby never drinks 8 ounces at a time. Like her stomach cannot handle it. So me going to a lactation specialist helped me feel better about my situation, because I knew that my baby was getting what she needed, and I didn't have to think about all these other factors that don't even pertain to our situation. So what I do is go see a lactation specialist, consultant, whatever, someone who knows what they're talking about, someone who is well educated, not just in one direction, just in all sorts, because like you just never know. So your diet is huge as well. You know, you want to obviously be consuming healthy foods, nutrient dense foods. So everything I eat is vegan and can be different than most people, I would assume, unless you're vegan. But I would say, like, even if you're not vegan, some of these extra steps are things you can implement in your diet without going full vegan, you know? So the first thing I'm going to talk about is oats. These are the kind that I get, Bob's Red Mill rolled oats. They're organic. Organic is better than non-organic. Not organic, like there's studies on this saying that they contain a lot of pesticides, so that's why I get organic. But yeah, I get the rolled oats, and I eat oats every day, or I do overnight oats, or I blend them in a smoothie. Like I'll get them in no matter what, because I do notice a difference if I am not consuming them versus when I am consuming them. So that's like a staple in the process of maintaining and producing the breast milk that my baby does need. So greens, and what I mean by greens is like your spinach, your kale, your collard greens, any sort of superfood greens, moringa, spirulina. I think all of them are good, but this is the powder form of the moringa that I have, and it's literally just 100% moringa. I don't know if I'm saying that wrong. Moringa leaf powder in a glass, and I whisk it with some coconut milk and I drink it, and it tastes really good. And I feel like it did help with my supply as well. Otherwise, if I'm not taking that every day, I do always have spinach on hand. I'll put that in a smoothie. I'll eat it on the side in a Buddha bowl. I put it on my bagels, you know, like there's so many ways that you can consume greens, you know, obviously. If you're not someone who eats a lot of greens, I would recommend at least a superfood powder, because you have to have that nutrient dense food. Like honestly, I don't eat, and when your baby is nursing on you, she's getting value from you. So if you're not fueling your body with the necessary foods, then your output and your supply is not gonna replicate that. You know what I'm saying? So any type of greens that are healthy for you are always gonna help you when it comes to your breast milk production. I don't know if they're different, but this one says hemp hearts, shelled hemp. The vitamins you get, the percentages, like this is 10 grams of protein for 3 tablespoons of this, and this is a big bag. You cannot beat that. That's plant-based protein right there, number one. Number two, you can put it in anything. You literally put it in your oats, you can put it in your smoothies, you can put it in your pastas if you want. Just like chia seeds and flax seeds, those are also good. They're also good sources of omega-3s. Alongside your diet, alongside that skin to skin, water, hydrate, because, you know, breast milk is 90% water. So you want to make sure you're hydrated. Stay hydrated. You know, keep a bottle in the bedroom with you at night. Keep a glass of water next to you all the time. If you're nursing on demand and you're nursing often, you need to drink at least a cup of water every time you're nursing, because you want to make sure that you are hydrated and your baby is getting the hydration through you, especially if they are exclusively breastfeeding and they're not having any source of hydration. It's solely relying on you in order to have that water, okay? So alongside of the water, I would say coconut water is really amazing too. Anything coconut I've noticed a huge difference as well. Coconut milk, coconut water, as long as it doesn't have all the added sugars and all that other extra stuff in it, I think you'll be fine. Coconut water, I usually just get the Vita Coco from Target. It's like a big white bottle. I don't have any right now, otherwise I would show you stuff too. Like I'll put it in my oats, or I'll drink it by itself, or I just drink or use it and mix up everything, because it's like all this stuff goes together, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have anything to do with your diet, but this does matter. Stress as much as you can. So do something outside of whatever it is, like being a mom. Obviously take care of your kid ultimately, but if you can sit there and take 5 minutes to yourself, take a hot shower, meditate, journal, listen to music, watch a podcast, whatever it is that you enjoy doing that de-stresses you and relaxes you and takes away your worries, I would highly recommend that, because when you stress, that I feel like that is like the number one killer when it comes to your production. I only say this because I experienced it. Like I was super stressed out. I was having all these thoughts in my mind, and you know, all your emotions are all over the place, you know, when you first have a kid, and it's like, okay, so you got that going on. You want to make sure your kid's healthy and you're breastfeeding and all that, and then all these thoughts, it's like, okay, that's a lot to handle. So I got stressed a little bit, and I noticed my supply dipped, and it didn't take long for it to do that. So I just want to emphasize, just take care of yourself. Like it's okay to take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and I still have to tell myself that. So from me to you, just know that it is okay to take 5 or 10 minutes. You're not a bad person. You're not a bad mom. You're not a bad provider. You're not bad, okay? It's normal to feel overwhelmed, especially when you are literally responsible for everything. So you're their main source of nurturing. You're their main source of comfort. You're their main source of literally everything. Their food, their everything that they need and desire. You are their main source. So that is literally a lot to take on. And so if you can take a few minutes to yourself, de-stress, get back to your equilibrium, balance yourself, that will make a difference. Consistency with feedings, consistency with pumping. If you are, say you're not exclusively breastfeeding on demand and you're pumping or doing both. Whatever it is that you're doing, it's all about consistency. So if you're pumping 3 times a day or you're nursing 3 times a day, you want to continue to do that. If you want to increase your supply, you want to do that and more. So if it just depends on your goals. Like if you're just okay with maintaining, then that's fine. But if you want to build a supply for whatever reason you have, I would recommend consistency and then do more, because your body is basically a supply and demand. And so if you only do 3 times a day and you're like, well, I want to pump 8 more ounces, your body's not going to do that for you. You have to tell it, hey, I want to produce more, so I'm going to continue to pump. And there's a thing called power pumping, and I've tried that and it did work, but I personally don't like to be pumping all the time. I prefer to just nurse on demand because it's so much easier. I don't have to clean bottles. I don't have to do nothing. My baby's on the nipple and then she's off, okay? So then that's all there is. And then when she's ready to nurse again, I let her nurse again. And in the beginning, it was a lot. Like, I was just like, dude, is this normal? But at the end of the day, after having the lactation consultant appointment and talking to my pediatric doctor, I have no worries because she has been gaining weight. She has not any signs of illnesses or issues. So I literally have no problem feeding her on demand, and now that she's over a year now, she's not nursing as often, but that's okay. She's getting what she needs, and that's all that matters. So I will say those are my main key points, my main tips for you. I'm sure I could add more to the list, but I feel like those are the top ones. So I think that's it. That's literally it. If I have more to say, I will come back and do a different video. But for now, that's it. Just take care of you. Relax, breathe, drink your water.